What's up, guys? It's Matt Jackson and Clay Smith, and we are the Wash Bros. Thanks for tuning in for this Father's Day episode. We're going to be season 2, episode 19. So, can't believe we're already 19 episodes deep into this with our rebrand. It's June 15th, Sunday. It's hot outside, Father's Day, and we're going to bang out this episode probably quick just so everybody can get back to their families and everything like that. So, what we're going to talk about today is we're just Clay and I were kind of talking about this before the episode. We're talking about how like when you're expanding into multiple trucks, like he's got 2 trucks, 2 rigs on the road right now, and he's like, hey, my marketing seems. I feel like I haven't really grossly changed anything on my marketing, but I'm able to fill 2 trucks up like no problem, and I'm doing more than I was before. So, kind of talking about how it's been, I guess, like a progress report on Clay, like adding on that secondary truck and like how successful he's been able to be so far with just doing it. So, you want to kick this thing off, Clay?
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody listening. YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're listening from. Appreciate you. Spotify, Apple Podcast. Obviously, we're on all the platforms. Make sure you go hit a like and follow. Get in our the Watch Bros group on Facebook. Make sure you follow all of our pages on Facebook. And Matt doesn't even know this. Appreciate whoever's listening from Arizona. I got a phone call from you this week. I appreciate you calling. It's good chopping it up with you. It's always awesome chatting with somebody across the country. So appreciate you listening. Thanks for everybody that does give us a call, talk to us, whatnot. And we're always here to help you. So what me and Matt were talking about before we even aired, and we said it'd be a good topic to talk about today, was basically I have scaled to 2 trucks. I have a full-time guy, and we have knocked out. So it's the 15th of the month, 10 working days. We have done over 60 jobs. So the revenue is crazy on that. And what I'm trying to get at here is if you're looking to scale, you're already 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, however many weeks you are out. It is not a, I don't know how to say this. It's not something to brag about to be 2 or 3 months out, right? You're leaving a lot of money on the table. Um, it's just the way it is. I can assure you 100%, and I would be willing to bet on it that you are having scheduling issues when it comes up to that week that customer is time to wash their house. I know that there's something that's probably came up. They probably don't have the money. They probably don't have the time. They want to be there for you. You just run into all kind of scheduling issues when you're 2 weeks out or 3 week over 2 weeks out. You want to stay at that 2 week margin. You don't want to go any further than that because you start running into those issues where people want to reschedule. They don't have the money. They've had a doctor's appointment. Something has drastically changed in their life. You're giving too much time and you're leaving money on the table. So what me and Matt were talking about was I've scaled to 2 trucks. We've knocked out 60 jobs in 2 weeks, and I have not changed anything. That scarcity mindset is gone. I'm not worried about any kind of work flow, lead flow. I'm not worried about scheduling. And that's what a lot of people I think that are scared of. When I get those 2 trucks, am I going to be able to feed this other guy? Am I going to be able to put more jobs on the table? But we have knocked out 60 jobs in 10 working days. So, and I have not changed a thing. So as I always say, be consistent in everything that you do, and it'll all come together the way it should.
Yeah, and I think that's something I realized too. When I decided to scale, I kind of ripped the band-aid off fast, and I was like, "Oh man, how am I going to do this?" And then it just kind of took care of itself. So if you guys are on the fence, or like you said, if you're 5 weeks out, that's not a flex. Uh, we occasionally have people who are like, I don't know, haters or something like that. They like message us or DM us, and they got like, "Oh, here's my opinion on things." And then I say, "Cool, how much revenue are you guys doing this month?" And then they say, "Oh, that's a secret. I'm not going to tell you about what I'm doing, but I'm 5 weeks out." And they're trying to brag about the 5 week out part. If you're 5 weeks out, I can tell you you're not doing enough revenue because you're probably just doing it owner operator. And nothing wrong with that if that's your business model. But like there's so much more growth to be had as you scale this thing into a business. And the objective here at like the Wash Bros is to talk about our growth journey. And like there's nothing wrong with like, hey, I'm the owner operator, I'm doing this, I'm comfortable here. That's completely fine. Everybody has a different way of doing things, but like you're gonna get to a point in business where you're gonna be so good at what you do. You have so many customers. You're doing everything right. It's the natural progression to get another truck into scale, and you'll find that a lot of times it just takes care of itself. You'll get opportunities that you didn't have before because people see you have multiple trucks. They're like, this guy's a real business now. People will be like, hey, I'm booked out 3 weeks or 4 weeks. This guy needs to get their house washed in the next week or so. This guy's got multiple trucks. He's got a crew. Let's go. And I've noticed too on commercial opportunities, we've been able to bang out a lot more stuff and we're getting a lot more leads because our brand is showcasing multiple trucks and not just an owner operator. Because like everybody and their brother's doing this as an owner operator. When you have multiple trucks, you got everything in place, you're really separating yourselves from others.
Yeah, I truly believe it's how you position yourself and how you want the people that are viewing you online to see you. If you want to look like a chuck in a truck with a trailer, and which there's nothing wrong with that. I was there at one point, but if that's the way you want to look, if you want to look like a handyman or look like just another guy in the neighborhood pulling a trailer with a pressure washer, then that's how you're going to be viewed. But even when I did look like that, I still scored commercial work. It all boils down to how you target your marketing. It all boils down to the relationships you're making, the relationships you're making with other people in your industry, your competition. Are you getting your reviews to make sure you have a reputable space online? It's all about who you're wanting to get in front of. You just got to figure out how to get in front of.
Exactly right. And yeah, it's like kind of like Clay says, this is not really a secret. We discuss it in every episode over the past two seasons and couple years on like everything we've done. So it's pretty cool to see Clay getting off the going from like doing it all himself to scaling to a secondary truck. And like you said, now he's doing like he's already done 60 something jobs and is like halfway through the month. So you're able to knock out what you were pretty much doing in 1 month by yourself already with half the month left to go. And you can just see how like instead of killing yourself and doing it all yourself and holding on to the control, you're able to like bring another team member on and like double your business without really stressing too much about like, oh, how am I going to make it work? It kind of seems like it just sorts itself out with your branding and with everything else. And it's like, hey, if you build it, they will come. So if you guys are on that line where you think, oh my gosh, I don't have a perfect plan, I'm going into uncharted waters, you have faith, you open yourself up, and like work will kind of flow to you.
Yeah, another thing is not only am I able to bring on another guy, I'm actually able to pay them well with how that I've done things with just being a one man show and how I've set things and what I've worked hard towards. You want to work hard, build that capital, be able to buy that second truck, buy that skid, buy that trailer, whatever you want, however your business is set up, you do all these things. And early on, you're just setting yourself up for wherever you're wanting to go in the future. And that's what I've done from the beginning. A lot of guys will stay in a certain radius. Well, with my business model, I am everywhere in my area. I mean, I'm 50 miles and then some. And where that has paid off is when I've grew to my second truck, I'm able to send a truck over to the opposite side of my area, and I'm able to be on all the way on the other side of the area. And now that I have customers in the whole upstate, it just all blends together, and I have that bigger customer base.
Also, your employee with your truck, he lives on that other side of town than you do. So you can strategically work that out where it's almost like you're having a secondary location because if he's got the truck and he's leaving in the morning from his house with that truck, you don't have to worry about driving an hour to get to one side of town.
Right. Not only do you have that other truck, he doesn't have to worry about driving to my shop or my house or wherever that truck is sitting to grab that truck. So it just makes a world of difference for everybody. I'm a big fan of the skids. I know you're a big fan of the skids, Matt. They just make everything more convenient, especially if you go and you're working in tight spaces, tight neighborhoods. We have these luxury type neighborhoods in our area, and it's very hard to get around. I mean, I was actually on a job with Matt one time. We almost got stuck in there because we had a trailer.
Yep.
So it's just so much easier having that skid. If you are a trailer guy, I would just at least look into skids. They're just so much easier. The best move I ever made, the best decision I ever made, just because those tight spaces like apartment complexes, those tight neighborhoods, you don't have to worry about taking mailboxes out. Don't have to worry about being in the way because when you have that skid, it's in the back of the truck. When you have a trailer, you're basically taking up room for basically two vehicles.
And the cool thing is when you have a skid, you can have a trailer behind it too. So you got a big
Right.
job, you want to have multiple people help out, you can literally rock a trailer pulled behind your truck and a skid, and you can essentially run two trucks instead of just one. Just drop the trailer wherever you want to have that trailer, and then there's your one command center, and then you got your skid on the other side of the building, so you're banging stuff out, and you're just driving one vehicle.
100%. I've done that one before too. But it's just all about there's no blueprint business. We try to preach and give all the, we're not really trying to preach, but we're trying to tell you guys what all has worked for us. This is real stuff. These are real numbers. If anybody wants to see them, I'd be happy to show them to you. This is not just some bullcrap we're pulling out of the water just to impress anybody. We are really trying to help this industry. We're trying to grow our industry the best we can, help everybody out around the country.
Yeah, and the thing you need to look at, don't look at how fast somebody's putting up numbers. Because everybody has their own speed. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know their market. Look for people, if you're trying to emulate, if you're new, look for people that have tenure in the game. Somebody who's been at this for 10 years or 15 years or has an established record. Don't just look at somebody who's trying to sell you, oh, I made X amount of money in 6 months, or I made this much in this. Look for people who are like highly branded online. They have a lot of Google reviews. They have a lot of things that you can't shortcut because in this game, heck, since just 2020, when I've been around, I've seen people come and go, especially in the guru space. I've seen people who are like blowed up one year, disappear the next. They're a joke in the industry. But like if you're finding somebody to emulate or to listen to, make sure there's tenure and they got skin in the game and they're not just kind of talking on social media about it. So that's one thing. Just because it's easy to get wrapped up in the hype that people can put out there, and make sure that they're actually walking the talk and they're not just, oh, I'm 1 year into this business teaching you guys, when it's like the blind leading the blind. And like when you get some experience under your belt, you can see through these people. You can tell by how they talk whether they know what they're talking about or not.
It's definitely easy to point them out because sometimes I'll go and I'll look and I'll do some my own little due diligence and research and see what these guys are looking at. And like you say, if you haven't marinated yourself in the space, it's kind of hard to know what's what and believe. It's easy to believe a lot of things because I was there at one point. I believed a lot of crap. And if you look up these guys' companies and you see that they got 20 Google reviews and they've been in business for X amount of time, you can tell they really don't care. They're just wanting attention. They're wanting to sell you a. From what I've gathered, they 9 times out of 10 they're wanting to sell you a product, some kind of course that they have robotically generated, or they're wanting to, I don't know, get you into their convention or something of that nature. That's just, there's a lot of common denominators there. It's like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, and the I mean another thing too, we talk about. I know the topics we're kind of shifting away from like how Clay's been with his two trucks, but it's like, okay, well, he's able to be successful because like the same blueprint, the Wash Bros formula that we both use, and that is like we're focusing more on building the business itself than like what equipment we have. Like him and I have both probably run through every single piece of pressure washing equipment you can. I've had a P40, AR45. I just rebuilt my AR45, 8 gallon a minute pressure washers, 5.5 gallon a minute pressure washers, 3.5 gallon pressure washers, 4 gallon a minute pressure washer, whatever you started with. Different whisper wash surface cleaners, BE surface cleaners. Like we've gone through the entire thing, extras. Like we've 12 volts. Like we've literally gone through all the technical here. And what's making us successful isn't all of that. And as far as cleaning houses, that's like everybody can clean a house about the same. And don't fall into these traps of like you need this piece of equipment or you need this or that. Or those aren't unique selling points to customers. Customers don't care. You're being sold by vendors, by people like we're saying who are trying to be gurus online, in order to like you give them your hard-earned money. And that's why you're seeing a lot in the market of all these like 50, $60,000 rigs being up for sale, and they're worth 20 grand at best or 15 grand at best, because a lot of these guys have been sold the lie of like, oh, you need this trailer because you're going to make so much money, but they miss the entire point of what's required to grow a business. And that's kind of like the lessons we have here with the sales, or excuse me, with the Wash Bros, is that we are like sales and marketing focused and branding focused. And like we're like people come at us or come at me and they're like, oh, your pricing is needs to be this or that. And it's like, no, like figure out what works for your business. And if you're trying to charge more money than somebody else, and if you're complaining to your competitors about losing jobs on price, maybe you should look in a mirror and look at yourself, because like what works for one company doesn't necessarily work for another. And if you're also trying to be like gouging people's eyeballs out, don't complain about work that you're not getting. Like I've never reached out to somebody and I complained to them because, oh, like I undercut them. I'm like, sorry, we're so busy, I don't necessarily know what we're even talking about here. It's like people fixate on small things and little things, and that's the reason they're stuck. And they hide behind their ego. And this is just kind of like a coaching lesson to people. If you're trying to grow like me and Clay, you're gonna have to take risk, and you're gonna have to like lean into faith and go into the unknown, like unknown territory. And you're not gonna be able to do that by like overanalyzing things or focusing on stupid things like how much are you charging per square foot? Like if you ask these types of questions and that's what you fixate on, I guarantee you're not going to grow your business because you're just focusing on the completely wrong things. If you're trying to figure out about like technical or this like nonsense, you just fundamentally don't understand what business is about. And hey, if you want to run this as a hobby and this is like your thing, that's cool. If you want to be the big bad pressure washer technician, again, that's cool. But if you're trying to really grow this into a business and have employees, and like Clay says, you get an employee, he's able to grow it, be excited, you pay him good money. He's not doing that by fixating on these like technical, non-important issues or how much you're charging per square foot. It's just like, come on, bro. Like you fundamentally misunderstand what a business is about. And that's where like plugging into the Wash Bros, getting your mindset right, like don't get so stuck on your ego and then look in the mirror and complain that you're not making any money and saying, oh man, the economy's rough. This is hard. This is tough. Like Clay and I are both able to grow in the economy today in a very, very saturated market where like I don't even recognize the market anymore in our Greenville area because it's just so many newbies, so many people I see pop up out of the blue on Google Ads, so many people, new yard signs, new Facebook people. Like it's very difficult, and you got to be laser focused in your branding, your marketing, and your sales in order to stay on top of that. And then you don't just allow somebody who's like, hey, this guy's hot over this summer or this guy's hot over that summer to listen to. Like figure out people like Clay and I have both been in this game for 5 years, 4 years. Like there's ebbs and flows in this. And like as long as you're moving up and to the right, that's all that matters. So that's kind of the rant I have just from like what I see. And in the summertime, like we're Father's Day. It's Clay and I were just talking about this. Like we don't really have crazy leads right now. Like our leads don't seem to be super crazy. Like I'm able to fill up my weeks on both trucks, but it isn't anything like super crazy to brag about. It's just, hey, it is what it is. You take it while you can, and then you just keep moving forward. And that's kind of the attitude and mindset you guys have to have to get through times like this. Because I mean, I guess vacation is huge. People may be afraid of the economy, stuff like that. All you can do is kind of keep your head down and keep going forward.
Yeah, I mean, even going back to the equipment type stuff you're talking about, just think about it this way: if you have a million different gadgets and machines and whatever you got, what are you doing with all that stuff? Like with me, I want to be in and out on a like typical cookie cutter Ryan Holmes type home, like a cookie cutter home. I want to be in and out of there anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. If I'm pulling 10 different hoses to do 10 different things, then it's going to take me half a day to do that house. So keep it simple, keep it efficient, and rock on and make the money, because the money is why we do this. I mean, some of you guys may have a passion and just have some kind of freak about pressure wash. I don't know, but I do this because I want to make a good living, provide for my family, and hopefully retire earlier than I should. So think about the business side of things. Stop worrying about the equipment. Stop following these gurus that are trying to sell you the equipment, and just keep it simple. I mean, just keep it simple.
Exactly right. And what Clay says, like you have to understand the market. If you think you can sell all the bells and whistles that you believe, the Kool-Aid that you believe in, and you can sell somebody on, I'm going to charge them 30 cents a square to pressure wash their house. That takes Clay and I 45 minutes to do in our own market. And you're going to triple charge or double charge what we're charging these people. You're not going to be in business very long. And that isn't people killing the market. That's just you not understanding what we do as a commodity. And the bells and whistles of like, oh, look at this. Like, for instance, like we were doing a commercial project for our local city with a football field, and I had to use on one truck. I have an AR-45, so I'm used to that gas pump, and that's cool. But I burned through 30 gallons of bleach in like 15 minutes. So this other truck, I got a 12 volt on there, and I used like a Remco 5.5 gallon 12 volt, and I was like hitting poles that had like black growth on them, and it was neat. I needed to hit it with like a roof mix, so I had to use it. While I was doing this, I was talking to my employee who was there, and I was like, "Can you believe that people literally wash houses this way?" And like we downstream with aids because it's super efficient and easy. And like Clay says, we keep it simple, and we can bang out a Ryan Holmes generic 2-3 thousand square foot house in like 45 minutes. And as I was hitting it with this 12 volt, I could see like all the proportioner dialing in the soaps, dialing in this, and I'm like, I can see where people spend 3 hours doing a house that Clay and I are in and out in 45 minutes. The result is the same to the customer. Their house is clean. It's like we showed up, professional, communicated, their house is clean. That's a very simple business. We can charge X amount of money, be done, get a referral, go to the next house, and knock out 2 or 3 houses by the time that one house is done that you try to charge them $800 to do. Sure, you could say, oh, well, I don't have to move my truck. I'm just doing this one house all day long and I'm making $800. But when you zoom out, there's not many people that are going to want to do that one house for $800. And you're not going to get volume of work. That's not saying, oh, I don't want to run 2 trucks. I can make more money doing one truck. And that's a complete lie. Just just know, like, cool, if you want to go high ticket model, that's one thing, but you have to have a ton of leads. If you're a new guy and you're complaining and you're like, oh man, like I just can't find my in, I'm trying to go high ticket because I don't want to run multiple trucks, I don't want to do this, like your value isn't built yet. Like Clay and I could probably do high ticket and just cherry pick and just run one truck, but looking at the numbers, like we make way more money by running multiple trucks than trying to cherry pick and do a single truck. And like Clay's probably realizing now, like how much money's flown in just because he's got two trucks on the road, and he's not really spending that much more money on advertising or changing anything. He's just getting more profit because he's able to bang through a lot more work. And it's like if you guys are trying to decide what business model to do, like, hey, it's a lot easier just to kind of add that extra truck, make that risk, and then build that team up and scale. And that's why the number one thing you guys see on these groups is like, hey, if you're wanting to grow your business, you got to get off the truck. So,
Absolutely. I think we pretty much covered everything today, especially with our Father's Day edition.
yep, it being Father's Day, we're cutting this thing short, so we're about like 25 something minutes here. But you guys want to drop us a comment and have any questions, etc. We're trying to build up the Wash Bros group. We're posting a little bit more on social media, trying to engage with you guys and stuff like that. Clay, you got any last minute remarks?
Nah, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I know a lot of you guys already have. Try to keep it on the social media though. I know I get some of you guys' phone calls sometimes, and most of the time I'm still working a truck, so I'm still a little busy myself. But if you're scared to take that risk, don't be. If you have any questions you might want me to help you with, reach out to me via Facebook if you can. Be happy to help you anyway. Since this is new to me, it's been going great. Like I said, 60 jobs in 2 weeks is phenomenal. My first, I mean, that's my first two truck. This is my first 2 truck month. So 60 jobs is just straight up phenomenal. I couldn't be any happier. I've actually exceeded my expectations. So if there's anything that you guys have questions about, reach out to me. You can reach out to Matt as well. Be happy to help any way I can.
Yeah, and Clay and I both in the same market. Our little Wash Bros, we're probably going to bang out 120, $130,000 combined this month. So we're putting up numbers. We have a good pace of like what's going on in the environment because we're able to take a huge chunk of that market out. So if you guys are saying, "Oh man, I do $10,000 a month," like Clay and I together, we're banging out like 10 trucks worth of that type of revenue, just with us both because we both have. I got two, he's got two, so there's 4 trucks right there. So that just
And
shows
that's
you
in the
like
same market.
same exact market competing with the same customers. We're usually probably one of each other's 3 quotes that our customers get. So like we're able to do this based upon what we talk about here on this episode and all that stuff. But yeah, same with Clay says, if you guys want to reach out, I think somebody may have called me. May have been the same guy you were talking about. Was his name like Tony or something like that? My VA picked up the phone.
He's out of
Uh,
Arizona.
yeah, maybe same guy. And then my virtual assistant, he just answers my phone for me. So he mentioned somebody called. But yeah, great that you guys reach out. We look forward to helping everybody and keeping the Wash Rose momentum going. And I'm working on building up the website. I got some like merch that I'm slowly testing out. So we'll try to drop some stuff on our website with the Wash Bros. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to hit us up. You want to have any closing responses before you got to run out to your parents?
Just like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe to everything: Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook. Clay Smith on Facebook, Matthew Jackson on Facebook, my company C3 Wash Pros on Facebook, Matt the Driveway Guy on Facebook for Matthew. And just make sure you're following us on everything. Make sure you're staying up to date. I have been posting lives of me working in a couple of groups, in our group actually, the Wash Bros group. Just type in the Wash Bros on the private group on Facebook, and then make sure you're following the Wash Bros podcast group on Facebook as well.
Yep. And I'll be posting some stuff too. We've been able to do a lot of cool commercial stuff over the summer. So, got some media and new videos for our personal marketing that's going to drop soon. That'd be cool. And we can share all that stuff in the group as well. But we hope everybody has a great evening and happy Father's Day and kill it this week. So, we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.